Leadership isn't about position, it's about influence. And sometimes the most powerful influence flows upward. Welcome back to the Savage Executive Podcast, where we lead with clarity, build with strategy, and multiply what matters. I'm your host, Steve Smith, and today we are tackling a leadership challenge that every single person faces, no matter their title. This is episode 12, Leading Up, How to Influence When You're Not in Charge. Early in my leadership journey, I began noticing that many of our systems within our organization were no longer working as effectively as when they were created. However, I was not in a position to make changes that were needed. One of the first lessons my boss and my mentor taught me was that we always make decisions on what's best for the organization. I realized in that moment that I could either stay silent and be frustrated or choose to speak up. I chose to speak, but not with complaints. I came with 3 options, a clear recommendation, and respect for the past and the weight that they were carrying. And my influence grew. That's when I learned something. Leading up isn't about manipulation. It's about influence, helping those above you see clearly, decide wisely, and move confidently. Most people think leadership only flows top down, but the health of any organization depends on what flows upward. If those below stay silent, leaders above make poor decisions in a vacuum. If those below only complain, leaders above tune them out. But when those below communicate clearly, offer solutions, and honor authority, everyone wins. Whether you're a mid-level manager, a ministry leader reporting to a senior pastor, or a director working under a CEO, your ability to lead up will define your impact. Let me give you a simple framework that we'll call the 3 rules of leading up. Rule number 1, respect their role. If you want to lead up, you must start with honor. It's tempting to criticize those above you. It's easy to nitpick their blind spots and second-guess their decisions. But when you dishonor the person above you, you undermine your own influence. Respecting their role doesn't mean you agree with every decision. It means you acknowledge the weight that they carry, the responsibility that they hold, and the authority that they've been given. You see, sometimes they have information that you don't have, and those decisions are coming from that information. I've worked with senior leaders who had to make impossible decisions, balancing finances, staffing, and community expectations. I didn't always agree, but when I honored their role while sharing my perspective, my influence grew. Here's a practical tip. Start your input with respect. Like this: I know you're carrying a lot here, and I appreciate the weight of the decision that you need to make. Then share your insight. Rule number 2, bring solutions, not just problems. Anyone can point out problems. Leaders bring solutions. I've watched younger leaders lose credibility in the room because all they ever brought was issues. Eventually, senior leaders tune them out. But when you come with ideas, even if they're not perfect, you become valuable. Ask yourself, if I were in their seat, what would I need to know and what options would I want on the table? Here's the difference. The wrong approach is like this: the budget isn't working, we're short. Leading up approach: we're short in this area. I see 3 potential adjustments that could solve it. Here's my recommendation. That shifts you from complainer to contributor. Rule number 3, build trust with consistency. Leading up isn't a one-time play. It's built over time. When those above you see that you consistently deliver on your commitments, communicate with clarity, and act with integrity, they begin to rely on you. And reliance becomes trust. I can think of one key leader on my team who consistently brings me clear updates, thoughtful insights, and realistic solutions. Over time, my trust in him has grown so strong that I don't just tolerate his input, I seek it out. That's the power of consistent trust building. Now let's talk about the potential landmines, because many leaders try to lead up but end up doing more harm than good. Here's a pitfall: overstepping. Leading up doesn't mean bypassing authority. Leading up doesn't mean making decisions you're not authorized to make. Don't overstep. Also, don't undermine. If you complain to peers or staff about the leader above you, you immediately lose credibility. Remember, we always complain up with solutions. We do not complain laterally. We give praise laterally. Pitfall number 3, flattery. Don't just say what you think they want to hear to get approval. Authenticity matters. Influence built on insincerity collapses. If you are in a ministry setting, leading up often means bridging the gap between your specific area of ministry and the vision of the church. Your role is to make sure senior leadership has the information they need to make wise decisions without overwhelming them with noise. For business leaders, the principle is the same. If you're in a corporate setting, your ability to frame issues with solutions, honor your boss's perspective, and consistently deliver will multiply your influence. Sometimes more than a promotion even can. There's actually a timeless principle here. Serve those in authority as if you're serving something greater than yourself. That posture changes everything. So let's get practical. Frame your input wisely. Don't just say what you think. Frame it for their perspective. Something like this: here's the problem, here's the impact on the organization, and here are 3 possible solutions. Also, choose your timing. Don't ambush your senior leader in the hallway or right before a meeting. Schedule time, create space, and respect their bandwidth. Also, invest in their wins. Ask yourself, what does my leader need to succeed? When you help them win, the whole organization wins and your influence grows. So here's your challenge this week. In your next meeting with a senior leader, bring one solution, not just a problem. Even if the solution isn't perfect, the act of bringing it will set you apart. Influence grows when you honor up, bring solutions, and build trust. That's it for episode 12 of the Savage Executive Podcast. If this episode encouraged you, I would love to hear your story. How have you seen the power of leading up in your own context? Connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram at Savage Executive, or drop a comment on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. On our next episode, we're going to be diving into episode 13, Avoiding Bottlenecks, Keeping the Mission Moving. Until then, stay sharp, lead boldly, and keep building what matters.